This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. I'm your host, Matt Takimoto, and today's game will be pitting the Benchwarmer team of Eric Eade and Scott Grimes versus Benchwarmer Josh Bomback and returning player and assistant coach on Patreon, David Fudor. Welcome back to the bench, David. Take a minute to tell us who you root for and what's going on in your life.
Yeah, Matt, thanks. It's probably been almost a full year or so since I played a full game. It's great to be back on the bench. I just got back from South Bend this weekend. I'd never been to Notre Dame for a football game, so I saw my Pitt Panthers lose 58-7. So assuming I don't literally have a stroke and die at some point in this podcast, this is going to be probably a highlight of my weekend compared to that football game.
And, yeah, Notre Dame sucks. Let's just leave it at that. And Josh, how you doing?
Doing okay. Gophers won this weekend. Vikings won, but it looks like Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles today. So it should be interesting to see what happens in this next week. And if they trade for somebody, which I don't want them to do, keep your draft capital. Either let Jaron Hall see if he's anything, or sign someone like Carson Wentz. I don't know.
Before recording, we were talking about RG3. We were talking about Phillip Rivers, or one of his children could probably play at this point.
Yeah, his oldest probably graduated college by now.
I'm just thinking like three of the Rivers kids stacked up on top of each other in a trench coat.
Oh,
they could play quarterback.
I mean, one of them has to have a pretty good arm, I would think. His dad had a cannon, so
hopefully. Otherwise, they're just a disappointment. Or is he going to continue to have more till he gets a quarterback? Is that what he's going for?
Maybe that's what he's trying to do. None of them are living up yet.
This one's another tight end. Damn it.
So it should be interesting. But sort of to go along with that is David's and my team name. We have a joint fan club of a particular football wide receiver, David from most of his college years and me from his current rookie season. And our team name today is, we are the Jordan Addison fan club, forgetting that USC year.
All right. And the less you think about USC, the better. So I am all in favor of that name. Eric and Scott, how are we this evening? Scott, I think Eric has the team name, so why don't you go first?
As always, right? Yeah, just let him do whatever. So that'll be fun in like 60 seconds when he reveals it. I'm good. Nothing really noteworthy going on here. So just hanging out, enjoying the 75-degree weather that we're having in Southern California in late October. So hard to feel like fall when the weather doesn't agree with you. So doing fall activities in like 80-degree weather is just weird. Like apple picking and then going like to the beach it's just weird. It's a weird combination, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to get used to it, but I'm trying. So, but that's it. I'm excited to be here, and this might be my chance to get off the schneid. We'll see. It's been a while since I've had a win, but Eric and I I'm sure have lost before, so we'll see what happens. All
right. And Eric, how are we? And what's your team name?
I'm good. Did you know there was an official apple of the Buffalo Bills?
No.
I didn't know that was a thing until like 2 days ago. So we have to find an apple sponsor. So we have to get a sausage sponsor. Now we need an apple sponsor. So I don't know how that works. I didn't know there was apple companies, and now it's a thing. So now my mind's been elsewhere all day. Anyway, so I found out when I asked you guys when this episode's airing, so I tried to keep it relevant for when we release, and I was told it was right after Thanksgiving. So Scott and I's team name today will be Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich.
All right, so we've got Jordan Addison Fan Club forgetting that USC year versus Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich. We've got some team names. Now let's kick it over to Dan for the rules.
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, Let's get this game underway.
All right, today's first quarter will be David and Goliath.
David versus Goliath. This quarter will consist of 3 pairs of questions, one easier, David, and one harder, Goliath. After hearing both questions, the teams will pick one of the 2 questions to answer, either David or Goliath. Each David question is worth 25 points, and each Goliath question is worth 50 points.
And it's an all college football edition of David and Goliath, so strap in. Here we go. Question 1, David. This is a Know Your Host special here. Name the Oregon Ducks quarterback who started the 2015 national championship game versus Ohio State. Question 1, Goliath. Name the Oregon Ducks quarterback who started the 2011 national championship game versus Auburn.
So that's the early part of the year. So or is that the season?
When it was played. So the 2015 national championship.
Okay. So the 2014 season, 2015 national championship.
Yes.
The 2010 season, the 2011 championship.
Correct.
Got that's for my own clarification and for listeners,
Yes.
just to help out with that.
Matt, we're gonna check in.
Okay. Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich has checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club, accept the USC year. Talk it out.
So I don't know how much I'm supposed to allow to plug other trivia things that I watch, but
Go ahead.
the Goliath thing just came up on the Barstool. There's the thing called The Dozen. I don't know if everybody watches that thing. It's like the Barstool trivia game. That's sort of what everybody thinks about Barstool. I get it. We just think it's kind of fun to watch trivia and stuff. The Goliath question just came up, and it was like, who started the national championship game? I cannot remember the guy's first name. I think the last name is Thomas. I think it's a D. It's either Devon Thomas or...
If you're confident in the last name is Thomas, that's all we have to check in.
Because we agree that David is Mariota, right?
Yes.
Right. But I think it's Deron, because it's not Dennis Dixon. Because when I saw this question, I was like, it's going to be Dennis Dixon, and it wasn't, because he used to play for the Steelers.
Yeah, if you're feeling good with the last name Thomas,
I feel good on Thomas. I don't know the first name.
that's all we have to check in with.
I do recall from last week this question being asked, and I think the last name was Thomas.
Then check it in.
Let's check it in, Goliath Thomas.
And enjoy your turkey sandwich. What you got?
It's just, whatever. There's nothing really else to say. I'm obsessed with college football. It's Darren Thomas.
Darren.
Both teams are getting points, yes, on both parts. The David answer was Oregon's only Heisman Trophy winner, Marcus Mariota. And the Goliath is, for my money, the most underrated quarterback in Oregon football history, Darren Thomas. He started 2 seasons at Oregon. One of them ended with a national championship appearance, and the other one ended with a Rose Bowl win. That's pretty darn good as far as a record is concerned. Okay, moving on to question 2. David, name the Big Ten school with the most Heisman Trophy winners. Question 2, Goliath, name the Ivy League school with the most Heisman Trophy winners.
We'll check in.
Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich has checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club minus the USC year. Talk it out.
Mr. Lux is going to be sad to know that you were eliminating Brown pretty quickly from...
Maybe incorrectly. I don't know.
Probably not.
I mean, those were the 3 that just sort of came to my mind. I was like, I'd be really surprised if it was one of those 3.
Yeah, and then I missed your Princeton, Penn, Harvard, Yale.
I said Harvard and Yale seem a little too obvious, right? Everybody sort of knows them in the Ivy. If you're making a Goliath question, my game theory here is you wouldn't pick Harvard or Yale, but maybe you would. I don't know. It'd be a total guess. That's why I threw out Princeton and Penn.
Like I said, Princeton was dominant at like the beginning of college football, but I think that was a considerable number of years before the Heisman started being given out.
Right, because Heisman wasn't given out till, was it the 30s?
Yeah, the 30s.
Jay Berwanger, right? Is that Chicago? I don't know where he went. I think it's University of Chicago. But so now you're talking about the answer here might be 1, right? It might just be like...
It could be 1, maybe 2. I can't imagine it's more than 2. But I don't really have a good feel on that. We both agree that for the David, we agree Ohio State. I'm sure Michigan's close to them, but I think Ohio State has it.
It's got to be Ohio State. Has to be.
Yeah, let's just go with Ohio State for David.
All right. Yeah, let's check in with Ohio State, David.
Check that in.
Checking in Ohio State for the David. Enjoy your turkey sandwich. What you got?
So I'm pretty sure 2 should be enough. I know Princeton has 1 Heisman Trophy winner, and I know Yale has 2. So we said Yale for the Goliath.
Okay. Our answers for the David, it was Ohio State with 7. Michigan is actually not all that close. They only have 3 to their name. Although this will be the last college football season that this question is completely accurate, because USC and their 7 Heisman trophies are joining Ohio State in the Big Ten next year. And the answer for the Goliath, the Ivy League school with the most Heisman Trophy winners, was Yale with 2. Larry Kelly and Clint Frank were the 2nd and 3rd Heisman winners in 36 and 37, following the University of Chicago's Jay Berwanger. The only other Ivy League Heisman was Princeton's Dick Kazmaier in 1951.
And Matt, you did say USC will be joining with their 7, but there's a asterisk on the 7, right?
Right.
Right.
There is a
Just check. Okay.
A controversial 7.
Or 2 of them or 1 of them?
All of them.
All of them. It's
Yeah.
USC, so
Yeah.
they cheated for all of them.
Are you saying that they're even still cheating, even though that you can pay your players with NIL money?
Listen, what happened yesterday?
Yeah, if they were paying their players and cheating that badly, they wouldn't have given up 49 points to the California Golden Bears offense. So
I think they were paying the other team to make sure, like it was weird. It was a weird game.
Wait, are you trying to claim that Cal is in on a cheating scandal, Eric?
Future ACC member, pure as ivory snow. Future ACC member, Cal.
That makes sense. The Atlantic Coast Conference.
that's right.
Cal.
The all California conference,
All coastal conference.
all coasts.
That's good.
That works.
Well, SMU's on the coast of the Gulf, right? Texas, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
all
know.
coasts.
There's a river.
All the country. All country conference.
All country conference. All college conference.
That's all of them.
Yeah. Any college conference.
Question 3, David. In 2019, he became the only player in SEC history to throw for 5,000 yards in a season. Question 3, Goliath. In 2019, he became the only player in Pac-12 history to throw for 5,000 yards in a season.
Matt, we'll check in again.
Enjoy your turkey sandwich has checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club, screw USC. You can talk it out.
Josh, let's think just a second here, because now maybe I'm worried that I got myself into a rabbit hole and I might not even be at the right school. So now I'm starting to think, is it possible I'm not even in the right school? I just assumed it'd be Washington State with Mike Leach.
That would make sense.
And they're just throwing for 1 billion yards.
Right.
And I know Minshew was there, but I think
Minshew got drafted in 2019, so
that can't be the right year then, right?
right. So it'd have been whoever followed him. If it is Wazoo,
Right.
it would be whoever followed him the next year.
And it seems like Matt hates USC. I doubt he put a USC player there. I don't think USC was throwing for that many yards. That would have been pre-Lincoln Riley. I think it's going to be Washington State. I bet it's the kid who followed Minshew, and I just don't know the name.
Neither do I.
Let's just lock in Joe Burrow.
Let's go for it.
All right. We'll check in with Joe Burrow for the David, Matt.
Okay. And enjoy your turkey sandwich. What'd you come up with?
Yeah, this it's not fair, Matt. You wrote a college football round, and I'm loving every second of it. And Scott said in our chat that he has a stupid face on Madden.
He does,
and that's correct. And in real life actually. But this is Washington State legend Anthony Gordon.
Both teams are getting their points. Yes. The David is one Joseph Lee Burrow, and the Goliath is David. You had everything right, but the name did follow Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew, by the way, second in Pac-12 history in yards for that 2018 season at 4,779. But at 5,579 yards, Washington State legend Anthony Gordon is the Goliath. Nice work. All right, we have reached the end of the first quarter, And Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich is currently pitching a perfect game with 150 points. And the Jordan Addison Fan Club, Forget That USC Year, has 100.
We're throwing a no-hitter.
You are. Not a perfect game, but a no-hitter.
No, not a perfect game.
You've walked like 8 batters.
No, we only walked 2. There's only been 2 walks. Come on.
They call that the Edwin Jackson.
Ooh.
The 6-7 walk no-hitter.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
That brings us to today's second quarter, which will be Curriculum Vitae.
Curriculum Vitae. In this round, the host will list the teams and years for which a player spent time and may also give a few fun facts about each player. Each question is worth 20 points.
And this will be a special edition of Curriculum Vitae. I know Dan only introduced this a month or 2 ago, but I'm already changing it, and he has choked on his turkey sandwich, so he can't do anything about it. This is going to be a travel edition of Curriculum Vitae. I'm going to give you an NBA player's trade history. The date of the trade, the teams that he was traded to and from, and the other players involved. And you've got to tell me the player that this trade history belongs to.
I'm sorry, David. It looks like so far this game is really leaning heavily to the Scott and Eric team.
I feel like I can take this quarter off.
I love this. This is
all right. I'll try to do my best.
I think we take you up on that, Eric. You take the quarter off. That's okay.
Okay, question number 1. Whose trade history is this? June 22nd, 1987. Traded by the Seattle Supersonics with a 1989 first-round pick to the Chicago Bulls for Olden Polynice, a 1988 second-round pick, and a 1989 first-round pick. January 22nd, 1999. Traded by the Chicago Bulls to the Houston Rockets for Roy Rogers and a 2000 second-round pick. October 2nd, 1999, traded by the Houston Rockets to the Portland Trailblazers for Stacey Augmon, Kelvin Cato, Ed Gray, Carlos Rogers, Brian Shaw, and Walt Williams.
I would just like to say there's the greatest question that's ever been asked in the history of this podcast, just because I got to hear Olden Polynice and Brian Shaw and like all these
Kelvin
random.
Cato.
Oh my God, love it. Let's go.
Yeah, we're I think it seems like both teams are, but we're checked in.
Okay, Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich is checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club also seems to be checked in, but you can talk it out and give us some flavor if you want.
Josh, I think unless this is like Craig Hodges or BJ Armstrong, I'm pretty sure this is Scottie Pippen. I can't think of any. I mean, I know he was drafted by the Supersonics. I don't know who he was traded for. I know he played for the Rockets, and I think he finished his career with the Blazers. So let's go.
Okay, and Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich.
I wish this was like an individualized like Flop Turn River. Like you gave the first trade and then we could check in and for more points. But all you had to say was June 22nd, 87, traded by the Sonics. I mean, yeah, it's Scottie Pippen.
Both teams getting points. The correct answer is Scottie Pippen. Question number 2 in Curriculum Vitae. February 22nd, 2001. Traded by the Atlanta Hawks with Rashawn McLeod to the Philadelphia 76ers for Tony Kukoc, Nazi Muhammad, Theo Ratliff, and Pepe Sanchez. August 6th, 2002, traded by the Philadelphia 76ers to the New Jersey Nets for Todd McCulloch and Keith Van Horn. That is a white boy combination for the ages. August 5th, 2004, traded by the New York Knicks with Othello Harrington, Cesare Trubansky, and Frank Williams to the Chicago Bulls for Jamal Crawford and Jerome Williams. September 8th, 2004, traded by the Chicago Bulls to the Houston Rockets for Adrian Griffin, Eric Piatkowski, and Mike Wilkes.
Checked in.
Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich has checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club, parse it out.
So Matt, this isn't a complete trade history, right? These are just partial trades, I'm assuming.
If it's like, I left him out if it was like traded for cash or traded for a player to be named later. Well, that's not true for basketball, but I believe these are the main.
I saw he goes from the Nets to the Knicks at some point between 02 and 04. But
it was free agency.
I'm assuming there was a free agent signing. This is just trades.
Okay.
Oh, Hawks 76ers.
So draft. I guess you would think he was drafted by the Hawks then, right? Because there's no trade before it unless it's signed by. Maybe we shouldn't think that way.
So early with the Hawks to the 76ers.
Right.
To the Nets. Then he went to the Knicks. Got traded to the Bulls. Then he got traded to the Rockets.
He got traded twice in a month before the season started. I think the key trade is going to be the first one. It's the only one that's in the middle of the year. Who would have gone to 70? Is that an Iverson team? I guess it would be, right?
Which one are we talking about?
2001 would be an Iverson team, right? For sure.
Yes.
Okay. Was that the year they made the finals against the Lakers?
Maybe.
I don't have anything better to go on, so let's assume it was that team. Ty Lue would be on that team. Iverson. It's not Iverson. Aaron McKee. I don't know that you're going to write a question with Aaron McKee. Ty Lue ever play in the Knicks?
I don't think so.
Well, I guess he wouldn't have played on the Knicks. He was there for a month of preseason games. Matt, does that mean there's no other players in the trade? If it's like on the last one, it means it's just this one person for the 3 Rockets?
Yes.
Okay. Now I think Nazim Muhammad was on the team on that finals team. So now maybe I'm just completely wrong. You have any guess, Josh?
I don't, to be honest.
Somebody going to trade 3 players just for Ty Lue? I think I'm wrong. I'm sure.
And just because the first time this player was traded was 01, they could have been in the league for a while.
Right.
Right. And then left a team to go to Atlanta. And those teams in that time frame.
You gotta think like either. I just sat down on my floor. Probably bad audio. No, I'm really getting into this question. I'm sorry. This is taking too long.
If we don't think we have anything.
I'm just trying to think. I either got to really think about the Rockets in 04. That'd have been a McGrady team. Early 2000 Nets. Maybe go that way. It's not Vince Carter, right?
No.
This can't be Vince Carter.
No.
That would have been like right before the finals Nets teams, right? So it would have been like, this can't be Chauncey Billups. It can't be. I don't know, Josh. Honestly, I don't know.
I don't either. Let's just
check in with good old Ty Lue.
Sure.
Yeah. That's a wrong answer. We'll check in with Ty Lue.
All right. Jordan Addison Fan Club checking in with Ty Lue. Enjoy your turkey sandwich, or just Scott. What you got?
Yeah, Sixers got him because they were like, we need somebody to try to combat Shaq in the finals. Nets got him because they were like, we just got beasted on by Shaq in the finals, and now we got to play San Antonio. And they ended up playing San Antonio in the finals and needed a center to go against Duncan and Robinson. And then I think he got traded to the Rockets in 04. I think Gal got hurt and they picked him up. No. This is Dikembe Mutombo.
One team is getting points. It is Dikembe Mutombo.
We're nowhere near that.
Yeah, not included in there because there were no trades. Was him starting his career in Denver and then signing with
that would have been
afterwards.
That would have been more helpful.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That would have made it a much easier question. I had a hard time with those teams. I wasn't. Yeah, so he does fit that bill of didn't start near 2001 with Atlanta. He was somewhere else, then went there. Ugh.
Was he on the Sixers finals team? I guess he was then, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That was a midseason trade that both.
I don't
think of that team.
I don't remember him being on that team, but I don't know if I was paying that close of attention.
Yeah, obviously he wasn't there very long. So
right. Okay, moving on to question 3. Whose trade history is this? February 24th, 2005. Traded by the New Orleans Hornets to the Golden State Warriors for Speedy Claxton and Dale Davis. February 24th, 2011. Traded by the Los Angeles Clippers with a 2011 first-round draft pick to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Jamario Moon and Mo Williams.
All right, we'll check in.
The Jordan Addison Fan Club minus the USCer has checked in. Enjoy your turkey sandwich. I think for the first time tonight, you get to talk it out.
think you're right though. With
I think
that
this is
that
B
that,
Diddy.
that Cleveland trade, I want to say it was Moon and Mo.
Yeah, that's not. I remember the Hornets trade because I remember thinking they should have got a lot more
Yeah,
than
and
just
but
being
in my
punished.
head, he was traded a lot more than that. But I guess maybe
Well,
not.
because he was on so many teams, right?
Oh,
I think he was just like contract buyout guy, right? Towards the end,
but
like the
that
Knicks picked him up, right?
don't
And
don't bring that up because it pisses me off about the NBA. It's just like, oh, we're
yeah,
traded, and then he's bought out, and he just signs with. Well,
right. And
anyway,
then he can just go wherever he wants.
yeah. So
But yeah, that makes sense. We're gonna check in with Baron Davis.
And Jordan Addison fan club, what did you check in with?
Yeah, so I mentioned my NBA knowledge from like the mid 2000s is all based around NBA Live and the EA Sports games. And I do remember Baron Davis for sure being a Hornet and for sure being a Warrior, for sure being a Clipper. And then I just sort of said to Josh, I think he went to the Cavs late in his career, but for sure the Hornets and the Warriors. And then that's when the Warriors sort of had that one, who did they beat? The Mavericks. It was like a huge upset, I think, right? And Baron Davis was on that team. So yeah, we checked in with Baron Davis.
Both teams receiving points. This is the trade history of Baron Davis. And yeah, these are the only two trades in his career, strangely enough, even though it feels like he was everywhere. And they both happened to occur on February 24th, which I thought was also funny. Another fun fact after this, the 2011 first round pick that was in that trade ended up being Kyrie Irving. That brings us to the final question in Curriculum Vitae for tonight. Question 4. June 8th, 2007. Traded by the Portland Trailblazers with Dan Dickau and Fred Jones to the New York Knicks for Steve Francis and Channing Frye. November 21st, 2008. Traded by the New York Knicks with Marty Collins to the Los Angeles Clippers for Cuttino Mobley and Tim Thomas. February 7th, 2019. Traded by the Sacramento Kings with Justin Jackson to the Dallas Mavericks for Harrison Barnes.
We're gonna check in, Matt.
Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich has checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club, no USC. Talk it out.
By the Kings with Justin Jackson to the Mavs for Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, this is not.
And this has got to be an older player. By then, he's 12 years into the league.
At least.
At least.
Right.
I have names in my head. They're all wrong. Like, they're all wrong. I'm just trying to think of, like, who would have played on. Like, I thought about, it's not like, what's that guy's name? Darius Miles. It's not him. I don't think. Right? That was a weird name that popped into my head. But I feel like, didn't he play on the Cavs for a long time? He would have been out of the league by then, right?
I was going to say, did he play with the Mavericks in 2019?
I don't know. I feel like he was on the Blazers, and I felt like he was on the Clippers. I feel like getting Cuttino Mobley and Tim Thomas in 2008, it's probably a pretty big name because Marty Collins is not a big name. So the Knicks are giving up something in that trade. I'm trying to figure out who'd have been.
Did Zach Randolph end up with the Mavs in 2019?
He was definitely on the Kings.
Because he's on the Blazers. He was on the Knicks.
But then wasn't he with the Grizzlies for like forever? But they didn't. The decade of the 2010s is sort of left out.
But once again, he probably signed there as a free agent,
right?
Because this doesn't have any free agent signings. This is only his trades.
Well, Zach Randolph for sure was drafted by the Blazers, right? For sure,
and he was traded to the Knicks.
And what's funny is in that trade, the other piece probably is a forward because you're giving up Dan Dickau and Fred Jones are guards, right? And you're giving up Steve Francis and Channing Frye, so you're probably getting a forward back,
right? Like he fits those couple of teams, and that time frame feels about right.
Okay, because 2008 would have been around the time Blake would have gone to the Clippers, right, as a draft pick, but they might have had Zach Randolph there too. That sounds familiar. In 2019 would have been his last trade. He was in the league a long time.
Yeah,
let's go with that. I like it. Like I
said, only from
it
the
fits
Blazers
enough
to
of
the
the.
Knicks.
It fits enough that if it's wrong, it's a much better guess than I had on the 76ers question. So,
all right. Well, we're gonna check in with Zach Randolph.
And enjoy your turkey sandwich. What'd you have?
Yeah, Eric sent over the name, and I was just getting there because I knew it was a big guy. Because the June 07 is a draft day trade because they just drafted Greg Oden, and they have LaMarcus Aldridge, and they were like, we don't need slow Zach Randolph anymore. So I remember that was the reasoning for that trade. So yeah, we also checked in with Zach Randolph.
Both teams getting points. This is Zach Randolph. Yeah, the Knicks to the Clippers trade was kind of a tough one because he only spent the rest of that season in LA and then signed with Memphis after that season.
Yeah.
Good job, Josh.
Yeah, I didn't have him going to the Clippers, but like I said, it was the time frame with the Blazers and Knicks that was what finally jumped in my head. So
it's just hard with these because a lot of these guys never end up playing with the team that they get traded to. Like Eric's like, did he play? Like he never played for the Mavs, right? And it's like I don't think so, right? Because they just get they get traded to balance contracts and then they just get bought out and they never. So you're like, I can't picture him in a Mavs jersey. You're like, well, you wouldn't,
right?
Because as I say, Steve Francis didn't actually play with the Blazers, did he? I didn't think so. So it was either he got turned again or got released or whatever, bought out.
Yep.
Weird. At first I was getting caught on that. I'm like, he went to the Blazers? And I was
the
like,
guy that didn't want to go to Vancouver was fine going to Portland? Yeah, I don't think so.
Right. And I was like, wait, I don't care about him. He's not an real important part of this question.
It's all just little landmines to send your brain in the wrong
Thanks. Just what I need is a bunch of landmines.
Right. All right. After the second quarter, we have scores of the Jordan Addison Fan Club, Sans USC with 175, and Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich with 250.
My favorite round ever, Matt. Thank you.
All right, so I want to know when. So you had a round for Eric, you had a round for Scott. So when do our rounds start?
Let's see what happens. This brings us to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions. Each question is worth 25 points.
And this halftime is what I'm calling the reverse Lux. So David has been using this gimmick where he asks 2 sports questions and in the middle of the 2 is a TV show. I'm going to do the opposite of that. For this halftime, there's going to be 2 entertainment or pop culture questions. And in the middle of that will be an athlete. An example of this would be, he played Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad, and his Batman suit had nipples on it. Correct answer would be Aaron Paul George Clooney. You get how that works?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, because we take the 2 and squish them, and then the squish comes together.
There's no athlete.
There doesn't have to be a
clue.
flow between those. Just the 2 squish.
Got it.
Gives you
the point. It's not a pre and post game. It's a squish. There you go.
It's a squish. All right.
It's a squish. Okay. Question 1. Mercurial singer and songwriter for the Beach Boys, who had a song written about him by Bare Naked Ladies, and the character on Friends portrayed by the late, great Matthew Perry.
We can check in.
Jordan Addison Fan Club has checked in. Enjoy your turkey sandwich. The floor is yours.
I'm not sure I get it.
Right. So the singer is like Brian Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Obviously Chandler Bing. So I think the athlete is Wilson Chandler. Nuggets legend Wilson Chandler. You good with that?
Yeah, I still don't get it. But yeah, go ahead.
We're going to check in with Wilson Chandler.
All right. And Jordan Addison Fan Club, what you got?
I had this right away. I mean, it's not super. The second half is pretty easy, especially if you've been paying attention lately, which lately, I mean, in the last 24 hours. But this song, excellent song by the Bare Naked Ladies, by the way. Just excellent. It is Brian Wilson, and it's not Miss Chandler Bong, but Chandler Bing. So yes, we are also checking in with Brian Wilson Chandler Bing.
And both teams getting points. Yes, it is Brian Wilson Chandler Bing. I threw this question in here today. Just, R.I.P. Matthew Perry.
Matt, just so we're clear for the answer, do you just want the athlete or do you want the whole, like how Josh said it?
I'll take the whole thing. Actually,
okay.
You guys talked out both parts, so you had it. But I'll take.
Was my answer the actual way you wanted the answer?
Yeah, that was the actual.
Right, that's why I wanted to ask because
got it. And just once again, Matt did point this out, but he wrote this question today, the day after the passing of Matthew Perry. So he is not at fault.
I am not responsible for the death of Matthew Perry.
I just want to be clear on that because we have a history.
There's a precedent.
If you ask a question about Ernest Borgnine, I'm going to be furious with you.
Ooh.
I do not have a question about Ernest Borgnine.
Good, because he's
today.
Dead.
Not today,
sure.
Not ever.
Pretty sure.
Yes, he's been dead.
Question
Stop
2.
talking about him though, because it doesn't have to be a question.
Will he come back for life?
It's
Does he come?
at time of recording? It's almost Halloween. He might come
Yes,
back.
he's actually outside.
Question 2. Actor whose credits include My Dinner with Andre, The Princess Bride, and the Toy Story franchise, and musician who set a record in the summer of 2023 with her 13th #1 hit on the Billboard Pop Radio charts.
Oh, we can check in.
Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich has checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club, no USC. Talk it up.
Can't I think of this?
What is his name?
Who's an athlete with the last name Taylor? We can start doing that too. Why am I not thinking? I mean, I've seen The Princess Bride. Andre the Giant, Taylor Swift.
No.
He wants to be called that from now on. She does.
Who played Vizzini? The shark actor. Wallace
Shawn.
Wallace Shawn Taylor Swift.
Wallace Shawn. Good. Thank you for that.
That was it's not Mandy Patinkin. It's not.
No, I was like,
Elwes. Those don't work.
Patinkin Smith. Right. No. Yeah. Right.
So I couldn't.
Yes.
There we go.
Wallace Shawn.
So we'll check in with Wallace Shawn Taylor Swift.
And enjoy your turkey sandwich.
So my dyslexia kind of kicked into hard drive on this question because you said My Dinner with Andre. So I immediately thought Andre the Giant. So I'm like, but he wasn't in any of that stuff. And then The Princess Bride, Andre the Giant's in that too. And then there's Billy Crystal. But I'm like, Billy Crystal was never in Toy Story. So I was everywhere except where I needed to be. And then Scott said Taylor Swift. I'm like, oh, it's Wallace Shawn. So it's a Wallace Shawn Taylor Swift.
Both teams getting points. It is Wallace Shawn Taylor Swift. Question 3 of halftime. Actress whose breakout role had her being an extremely attractive person alongside Dudley Moore in a 1979 film, and New York rapper with the government name Belcalis Marlinus Almanzar.
Oh, yeah. There you
right?
Go. Yep,
that makes sense.
Yep.
We're checked in.
Enjoy your turkey sandwiches checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club, it's all yours.
No.
There we go.
It was just throwing me off because obviously it's not using the whole part of the one name. So Matt was getting tricky with the third and final one. So yes, we agree Bo Derek, right?
Yeah.
And then Cardi B, so we have Derek Carr in there, just not the full.
Oh, I didn't get it until you just said it. Now I was.
That's where because I was like, wait, I was trying to think of Derek's, and then so
that is closer to a pre and post game. That's less of a smush, right?
It's a partial. You got to just smush part of that first name. So we'll check in with Bo Derek Cardi B.
And enjoy your turkey sandwich. What'd you have?
Yeah, same thing. It took a minute, but then it was right there in front of me. Bo Derek Cardi B.
Both teams getting points. The correct answer is Bo Derek Cardi B. Yeah, I did get a little bit tricky on that one, but you handled it nicely.
Oh,
all right.
So that felt like mine, Matt, but it didn't help because it was also theirs. So,
is that round over? We could do 100 more of those. Those are fun. Do more of those.
All right. After halftime, the deficit is the same, but the scores have changed. Jordan Addison Fan Club, you've got 250, and enjoy your turkey sandwich. You have 325. Now it's time for the second half. Today's third quarter will be Lucky 7.
Lucky 7. For this quarter, there will be 3 lists containing 7 items. The team that is trailing coming into the quarter will choose the first list and attempt to identify the items on this list one at a time. If the team has an incorrect guess, the other team can attempt to finish that list out. The team leading at the beginning of the quarter will select the second list, and whichever team is trailing after the first 2 lists will get the third list. Each item is worth 10 points.
And here are your 3 lists for Lucky 7. Jordan Addison Fan Club, you will get the first list. It's all baseball, and it's all defensive baseball. Here are your 3 lists. The 7 pitchers with 6 or more gold gloves. The 7 third basemen with 6 or more gold gloves, and the 7 outfielders with 9 or more gold gloves.
I think I like outfield the most.
Yeah, whatever you like. Can you
Okay.
get to 3 or 4, you think, cold on some of these?
I think that's the one I can come up with the
Right.
most.
Right.
I don't want to give away too much other information.
Sure,
so-
yeah.
All right, so Jordan Addison Fan Club, you're taking the 7 outfielders with 9 or more gold gloves. So you've got some time to work on it and enjoy your turkey sandwich. You can strategize.
All right, we're ready to check in.
All right, Jordan Addison Fan Club is checking in with the 7 outfielders with 9 or more gold gloves. So why don't you rattle them off one at a time?
Okay. We're going to start with Willie Mays.
Willie Mays has 12 gold gloves.
And let's go with Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. has 10 gold gloves.
Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente also with 12, tied with Mays for the top.
Go yours.
Go with mine?
Go yours.
All right. Torrey Hunter. He's got 9.
Torrey Hunter does have 9. Correct.
I know that one. That one, I knew the exact amount. And I knew the other guys were more. So your guy or the last of my initial bunch? I think they're both there. So
Okay,
we're fine.
doesn't matter. Yeah,
All right.
go.
We're going to go with Andrew Jones.
Andrew Jones has 10 gold gloves.
Ichiro Suzuki.
Ichiro has 10 gold gloves. So there's 6.
And this is where we had thrown around the idea of Bonds. I'm almost certain he has 8.
Probably. Do you want to talk here? Can't they steal?
Well, they're not going to go with Bonds, but you're right. Anyway, so we're not going that one. We're going to go with Jim Edmonds is our last.
Jim Edmonds has 8
Oh.
gold gloves.
That's a
So
great guess.
That is a great guess. There is one name left with
You're right, David. I
9 or
did give
more.
away info.
And enjoy your turkey sandwich. If you want to take a stab at it, it's all yours.
There's no reason not to.
Oh man.
All right. So we need 9.
That was a good guess,
Yeah,
though.
9.
Yes.
9 or
gold
more.
gloves.
It was.
9 or more.
He was 1 shy.
Jim Evans is a great guess. I thought you had it.
I say Mookie Betts. He's not at. He's probably at
I don't think he'd be at 9
6 ish.
yet. Yeah, I don't think he'd be at 9 yet.
Well, somebody like Mike Cameron. Not
I
enough.
got to 9.
Yeah, I would say 9. I'm just gonna start throwing names.
Yeah,
You tell me.
It's a great name.
Yeah, 9 seems like a lot for Mike Cameron.
Larry Walker.
Maybe. I don't hate Larry Walker as a guess.
Somebody older like Dale Murphy.
It could be someone like that.
I think it's going to be older, and I don't think.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
How many's Dave Winfield have?
Probably will be. Like Stan Musial.
Like Frank Robinson, something like that. Like
Yeah, I don't know anything about him as a fielder, so
I don't either.
know if he was a good fielder.
I was just thinking of a name like because I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of the stuff now might not be.
I think I like Dale Murphy better than Frank Robinson.
All right, let's go with it.
Dale Murphy has 5 gold gloves. You mentioned a lot of the other like close but not quite. Larry Walker's got 7. Dave Winfield has 7. Mookie Betts has 6. I forget who else you mentioned. Mike Cameron only has 3. I'm surprised.
Oh.
I would have thought he had more.
A lot of competition.
It is an older guy. You did have to go very old because the 7th name with 10 gold gloves is Al Kaline.
Oh.
Real
I
old.
guess I don't picture him as this defensive, stalwart.
The other guys with 8, besides Jim Edmonds, were Gary Maddox, Alex Gordon, Dwight Evans, Andre Dawson, Barry Bonds, and Paul Blair. That rounds out the 8 gold glovers. Okay, so Jordan Addison Fan Club, you got 6 out of 7 for 60 points on that one. The second list goes to Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich. Would you like the third baseman or the pitchers?
You want to go hot corner?
Yeah, I think that should be an easier one to do.
Yep.
Okay, so Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich. You're taking the third baseman. Jordan Addison Fan Club, you can strategize for some rebounds. I think you almost certainly will be getting the last list, though, if you want to keep thinking about that.
All right. All right. We'll check in.
All right. Enjoy your turkey sandwiches. Checked in with 7 third basemen with 6 or more gold gloves. What you got?
We'll just start with the order we put in the first list.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with Robinson.
Brooks Robinson has 16 gold gloves.
Arenado.
Nolan Arenado has 10.
Chavez.
Eric Chavez has 6 gold gloves.
Michael Schmidt.
Mike Schmidt has 10 gold gloves.
One punching bag. Robin Ventura.
Robin Ventura has 6 gold gloves.
And Scott Rowland.
Scott Rowland has 8 gold gloves.
We're good with that last one then, Scott?
Let's do it.
Our last one. Shot in the dark. Buddy Bell.
Buddy Bell has 6 gold gloves.
Wow.
That was 7-4-7. Very well done. That means Jordan Addison Fan Club, the last list, the 7 pitchers with 6 or more gold gloves is all yours to start with.
All right, Matt, we will check in.
All right, checking in with the top 7 pitchers in career gold gloves, all of whom have 6 or more. Give them to me when you're ready.
All right, let's go. Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux has 18 gold gloves, which is more than 6.
Let's go. Cott.
Jim Cott has 16 gold gloves.
Let's go. Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson has 9 gold gloves, third on the list.
Let's go. Musina.
Mike Musina has 7 gold gloves.
Let's go. Greinke.
Zach Greinke has 6 gold gloves.
And then I think Langston.
Mark Langston has 7 gold gloves.
Nice.
And then this is the one. Palmer.
Jim Palmer has 4
Mm.
gold gloves. So there is one name in the top 7. The 6 they gave: Greg Maddux, Jim Cott, Bob Gibson, Mark Langston, Mike Musina, Zach Greinke. Enjoy your turkey sandwich. You've got one shot.
How do you know they didn't mean Dean Palmer, who did not come up during our third base
Arnold
discussion?
Palmer.
We're gonna go with Bobby Shantz.
1952 MVP Bobby Shantz has 8 gold gloves. That is a deep cut and a well-earned one. Nice work. All right. After the third quarter, we have the following scores. Jordan Addison Fan Club, minus that USC year, has 370. Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich has 405. That brings us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
The categories for the fourth quarter are as follows. Question 1, rivalry trophies. Question 2, track and field. Question 3, games. Question 4, extreme sports. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question 1 in the fourth quarter, in the category of rivalry trophies. The Crab Bowl Trophy is the official prize of the rivalry between what 2 FBS teams? The 2 teams have played 21 times, but the trophy was commissioned before the 2010 meeting. The teams have not played since.
Matt, we're going to check in.
Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich has checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Josh, I'm pretty sure this is what is the saying from Wedding Crashers, crab and football or whatever it was, but crab cakes and football, that's what Maryland does. So I think it's the 2 Division I teams I can think of from Maryland, University of Maryland and Navy. I don't remember them playing anytime recently. So that sort of makes sense. So let's go Maryland and Navy.
For how many points?
100.
And enjoy your turkey sandwich. What did you have?
So they don't play that much anymore. It's actually really interesting if you looked into it. It's because nobody wants to see it. So it's Maryland and Navy.
Both teams getting points. The correct answer is Maryland and Navy. Navy has not beaten Maryland in football since 1965, though there have only been 2 games between the two teams since 1965. So is it even a rivalry if they're playing that sparingly? Who's to say?
Hold on a second.
How many points did they get? Didn't they have to? I don't think
yeah,
they said how many
they
points.
didn't say how many
Sorry.
points.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that I always wager 84 points on every question, so we wagered 84 points.
See, that's why you can't assume the 100 because.
Thank you. Let's do a score update just to be safe. Jordan Addison Fan Club has 470. Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich has 489. Moving on to question 2 in the category of track and field. At time of recording, there are 5 athletes, all of them runners, who hold outdoor track and field world records at multiple distances. Please name 3.
Yeah. All right. We'll check in.
Jordan Addison Fan Club has checked in. Enjoy your turkey sandwich. It's yours to talk out.
So, I mean, Flojo, I'm pretty sure Usain Bolt and Flojo, Florence Griffin Joyner, right?
Sure.
So,
yeah.
I was a pain in the butt, and I've asked some clarification questions. Because I thought there was a dude from Sweden that owns a couple, but I guess it's all the same. Maybe it's just different pole vaulting records. Anyway, maybe that's why it doesn't count. And then I asked also about somebody that was a walker because I know there's an Italian guy that like dominated walking because that's a thing now. But just recently, probably within the last month, I know of I think she's from Kenya. Was it Faith Kipyegon? I want to say her last name is. So I just know she dominated the 1500. I think she might have another one, but I'm kind of on the same thing as Josh on this, where I know she has one. Maybe, hopefully, she has another one because she was just that dominant. So we'll go with those 3. I have to say that again. Was it Faith Kipyegon, Flojo, and Usain Bolt for 84 points?
Okay. And Jordan Addison Fan Club, what did you come up with?
Oh, we had the same initial 2, right? We had Usain Bolt and Florence Griffith Joyner. And coming up with a third, not great. I think he's Norwegian. I think he not too long ago, maybe it was the 2000. It's I don't know if he pronounces it Jacob or not, but Jacob Ingebrigtsen. I don't know if he has 2. I think he holds 1. I don't know if he holds 2, but that's the third name we came up with, so that's who we checked in with.
Okay. And one team is getting points. So here are the 5 names that I've got. Yes, Usain Bolt has the 100 and 200 meter world records currently. Florence Griffith Joyner has the women's 100 and 200 meter world records, which, by the way, amazing that she still holds both of those world records, considering how many fast women have been around the last 30 years or so. The 2 names that were not mentioned, Moroccan middle distance legend Hisham El Garouche owns the world record in the 1500 and the mile. And also Ugandan runner Joshua Cheptegei owns the 5,000 and 10,000 meter world records currently. But the last name on here is indeed Kenyan runner Faith Kipyegon owns the 1500 as well as the mile. She also owned the 5,000 meter world record until just recently when Gudaf Sige broke it. I think at the Prix, if I remember correctly, or maybe at the World Championships. I can't remember which one. Jacob Ingebrigtsen does own the Little Run 2,000 meter world record, but that is his only world record.
And real quick, wait for it. You get a triple this time. Who? I haven't heard of any of those 3 other names. Never once.
Parliament of Owls. Faith Kipyegon is ridiculous and is somebody worth checking out. And
Nope.
now that Gudaf Segay broke her world record in the 5,000, I very much expect her to re-break it within the next 6 months or so.
For me to know a female distance runner, there has to be something like it popped up. I want to say it was about a month ago where she dominated, and it was insane.
No, have never heard of any of those other three.
I'm with you, Josh. He said some guy's name, and I was like, wait, what did he do?
Like I said,
Josh
I could only come up
with.
with one other name. And by the way, I don't know what little 1500 means or little 2000. What is a little 2000?
Just it's not the 2000 meters is not a race that is like held very often. So it's little run with a hyphen.
I see. Not like that sounds like a big run to me. 2000 meters.
And Ingebrigtsen did break Hisham El Garouche's record. So Hisham El Garouche did own 3 distance world records until recently.
Well. Got it.
Yeah.
So I saw that name come by because it wasn't that long ago that he did it, right?
Yeah, it was this summer, I believe.
Yeah. So I saw that name come by, I think, on my Facebook feed of sports things. And I unfortunately have not seen those other names. Nuts.
All right. Moving on to question 3 in the category of games. What classic table game with its roots in a 16th century game called Irish and the 13th century game Todos Tablas is won by bearing off all 15 pieces from the game board? A tournament held in 2007 in the Bahamas was the first tournament of this game to have a $1 million prize pool.
Matt, we're going to check in.
Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich has checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club, talk it out.
Right. So, Matt, we first were trying to figure out what bearing off meant, and then we figured that meant sort of eliminating, and then we were trying to think of a classic table game where you try to take off pieces. And I have not played this game very much, but I know there's a dice, and I know you can sort of wager on it. But I think in backgammon, you take away pieces from the board.
You do.
I don't know how many you start with. I know that you start on like 5 on one column, maybe in 4, and there's like there's different. Like the little checkers are sort of on. I
play,
but it could be 15. That could be right.
I play it on my phone, and 15 feels about right.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I think this is
it wouldn't be like right. I mean, it's going to be like, and it's going to be a classic. It's going to be like a Parcheesi, something like that, or it's not cribbage. It's not a card game, so you're probably looking at. It's not going to be like dominoes or what's that one? Mahjong. It's not that. Let's go backgammon.
No, I'm good with backgammon. So,
yep.
So we'll check in with backgammon for 100 points.
And enjoy your turkey sandwich. What did you have?
I didn't have much. I just saw bearing off. The only thing that came to mind hearing bearing off was backgammon. I think that was a term I've heard used. So that's what we went with for 84 points.
Both teams will be receiving their points. The correct answer is backgammon. Nicely deduced by both teams. And our final question of the game in the category of extreme sports. Rat Solt, Dennis Duramalar, and Biker Sherlock are the only 3 men with multiple Summer X Games gold medals in what extreme sport contested from 1997 to 2001. A related sport is held at the Winter Olympics.
Matt, we're going to check in.
Enjoy your turkey sandwich is checked in. Jordan Addison Fan Club minus USC for the final time. Talk it out.
I think you're right, because I think they eliminated it because people were getting like hurt. I feel like I remember that. Although my sport sounds way more cool.
I mean, I think there is some kind of a crazy.
Do they have them on like a giant like ski jump hill on a skateboard?
I mean, that seems what like most of the skateboard things.
Yeah, but
start
they have
on a crazy high thing. I don't think they try to go for like distance.
I just want one jump, like one big.
Yeah, I don't think they do like one big jump to see how far they can go. I don't think so. But yeah, as soon as I got off, I don't know why I heard Winter X Games. I heard Winter and I thought, oh, it's going to be a similar. And then I saw in the wording that it's at Olympics. I was like, well, that's a whole different ball game. And I had to think about some actual sports. Sorry, X Games. But yeah, street luge is the thing that comes to mind. And yeah, pretty dangerous. Probably not all so much on a fixed course, but I've seen some of those videos of people street luging like down big mountain roads that have cars on them. Like, what are you people doing? So that would be my guess. And it sounds like a guy named Rat Salt. I know it's not salt, but it sounds better. Rat Salt sounds like a street luger.
Yeah.
I mean, biker Sherlock doesn't necessarily.
That's very misleading.
So should we go with that?
We should.
All right. We're going to go with street luge for 70.
And enjoy your turkey sandwich. What did you come up with?
I've heard the name Biker Sherlock before, and I couldn't put together why or where or what sport it was. I knew it was one of the X Games sports, but I couldn't think of it. And then I just overlooked the last part. I'm like, oh, it's the Winter Olympic thing too. So I'm like, we went with street luge for 100 points.
Both teams are receiving their points. The correct answer is street luge. And if you haven't watched, the clips of the X Games street luge still do exist on very early grainy YouTube that looks like it was recorded on a potato, but they do exist, and it is crazy. It's just like on concrete. They're going very, very fast on very large hills, and I can understand why it was not sustainable. Well, our game has come to an end, and here are the scores. Jordan Addison Fan Club, forgetting that USC year, finishes with 540 points. But tonight's clipboard captain, who will be receiving the coveted Anthony Gordon Award, is Enjoy Your Turkey Sandwich with 757 points. David, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Is there anything you would like to say before we call it a night?
No, Matt, thank you. Those were great questions. I love coming on this podcast. If I get one question wrong, I lose. It's very hard, but I will see you guys again soon. It was a great time.
All right. On behalf of Eric and Scott and Josh and myself, we'd like to say thanks for listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. And until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch. Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes.
Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at Benchwarmers TP.